big game this week. Get to play an undefeated BYU. Be a very unique trip, but exciting one. Great opportunity to play an undefeated team, and I know our guys will be excited about that. We're definitely looking forward to going out there. Should be pretty good deal. Be on national television, and so a lot of good things to look forward to. With that said, questions.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News here. I think you know what I'm going to ask you first, health-wise. We know Dalvin, Dayton, Piggy, and KT have all been battling some injuries. Do you have an update on them, and is there anybody else expected or questionable for Saturday's game?
Yeah, we got several injuries. We're banged up, particularly on the offense. Dalvin's going to be out for the year. He ended up breaking his leg, so they'll have to do surgery. He'll be back for spring, but he's out for the year. Dayton Wade, we'll have to wait and see. He has a lower leg injury that just depends on, whether he can go or not. We'll have to see. It may be one of those deals that's a couple of weeks, but if we're lucky, we might be able to get him back. Couple old linemen banged up, but they're fighting through it. And then, defensively, we're doing decent. We got most of our guys there, but I would say those are the main guys. And then KT, he had a bad hip pointer in the game and couldn't go anymore. Was hurting pretty bad, and so we'll have to see this week. We'll probably give Piggy a lot of the reps. He's probably a little more healthier right now than KT is, and then but we'll just have to get through the week and kind of see where we're at with the quarterbacks.
Just to be clear on that, that means you don't have a starting quarterback named for Saturday's game at this point?
Not right now. I'll say that Piggy probably gets most of the reps just because of the injury and the health part of it. I'd probably lean to Piggy, but I don't want to jump the gun just because we need to get through practice and get through this week. And, we'll probably have to count on both of them, it's way too early right now to really have a feel. Probably when I talk to you Thursday, I'll have a better idea of where we're at.
This is Nick with the College Heights Herald, and not to put a damper on numbers or anything, but BYU is one of the highest scoring offenses in the league. And looking at their tape so far, and you said they're 6-0, how do you approach a team like this coming weekend?
Well, there's no pressure there. The whole world thinks, they're supposed to come out there and go put 50 something on you and dominate you and make you look bad. So what's there to lose? We've been in big stadiums before. We've played well and we've won in big stadiums. It's a non-conference game. It's there's really no stress or anything to worry about. Our guys like these kind of games. I don't think they get concerned about anything other than having an opportunity to play a really good football team. I'll say this, though. They are an excellent football team. What you see on television, when I watch the film, they in every position, they are outstanding. The quarterback's outstanding. They play really good defense. Very big on the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense. So it's a huge challenge for our football team, but one that, I think we're excited to be a part of. I think back to all the places we've been and come away with wins. So why can't we do it again?
Coach Jared with the Daily News, to kind of go off of that, I know you don't like to treat any game bigger than others, really. You treated Saturday like a championship game against an FCS program. But going up against a ranked opponent, that seems like it's a bigger game. Where would you kind of rank that in terms of your time at Western Kentucky or in your career?
I hadn't put much thought into it. I just, obviously being a ranked opponent, that would be a huge win for us, especially where they're at right now, being undefeated. It'd probably be the biggest win for our program, to be honest with you. But we don't put a lot of thought into that. It's just kind of the next game and trying to beat a quality opponent.
Coach Hunter Smith from WKU, just to again kind of go off of that, but what does a game like this do for WKU from an exposure standpoint?
A ton of exposure, to be on national television. We're one of the later games. We're starting at 8:15 their time, I think 9:15 our time here. So you should have a great audience because you're one of the last games of the night, so somebody's going to be flipping through the channels wanting to put on a game. So hopefully they'll watch ours, and it's a great opportunity to be on a platform to showcase our program and what we're all about. And, recruiting, we've been recruiting really hard and talking to a lot of prospects. It's an opportunity for them to watch us and see what we're all about. So a lot of big things for us this week for sure.
Coach Jared with the Daily News. I know you talked about their team and how good they are. Their quarterback, Zach Wilson, you faced a lot of very good quarterbacks already this year. What is so special about him and what he's able to do on the football field?
Well, he's really a complete player. I think you can tell that obviously his talent is just clear, but, really he's a student of the game. I mean, he's a guy that has a coach mindset. He really studies a lot of film. He knows you backwards and forwards when he gets out there. He knows your weaknesses. He has a great feel for what you're going to do. And that's what really, really good quarterbacks do. I think in the college game, there's a lot of good quarterbacks. Most of them, they're talented and they just go out there and play. They're well coached during the week and those kind of things. But this particular guy, you can tell he is a big student of the game, and he goes above and beyond to master his craft and to be the best he can be. So when you face guys like that, it's kind of a chess match, to be honest with you. And he's pretty good at what he does.
I know he gets a lot of the attention, but I believe they have the number 16 rusher in terms of yards per game in the country as well. And the Algier kid, what's it going to take to have a complete game defensively just against this team?
Well, I think when you play a team like BYU, they're going to move the football. They're going to score. It's just a matter of defense. You got to take the approach of, it's okay for them to move the football. Let's keep them out of the end zone. Field goals aren't a bad thing. And let's go manage the game so that when you're in that fourth quarter, you're in it. You're having an opportunity. I think back to a UTSA. Those fourth quarter, that game, I think score was like 21-13 or something like that. UTSA's in the game. They had an opportunity about middle of the fourth quarter. They had the ball. So, there's opportunities there for us as well. And that's the approach our defense has got to take, is when you play a really good offense like them, they're going to make their plays. They're going to score their points. But, just give the team the opportunity to be in the game in the fourth quarter.
Coach, you've talked in the past about, wanting the offense to be a 30-point plus team to give your team a chance to come out with a win. What do you all need to do this week to try and hit that 30-point marker?
Well, the biggest thing is be balanced. I think we did a good job this past week of running the football and being committed to the run. And I liked what I saw out of Gage. I liked what I saw out of Jakari. So that was good to see. And then, just those explosive plays that we need to make. Had some opportunities in the first half to do that, and we didn't make them. And in the second half we were able to do that. But I want to be a 30-plus team. That is the goal. We're not even anywhere close to that right now, as you all know. So for us, the main goal is to play good team football. And the number one thing coming out of last week's game was we played for each other. We stuck with each other. We kept battling, and the offense scored when we needed it the most. And that's what you do to win. So as long as we do that, we'll be fine. And then after BYU, I don't talk much about games ahead, but after BYU, you have 4 conference games, and that's where we really, really got to play good as a football team.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. Those first couple of games were rough on you guys defensively against some good offenses, but it seems like you guys have settled in a little bit. It might not reflect on the scoreboard as much with some of the positions that they've been in with the turnovers, but allowing just 311.5 yards per game the last 4 games, according to Brian's stats. And passing defense has been very good as well, only 90 yards on Saturday. What's been the biggest key in taking those improvements week by week?
Well, number one, we got group of guys that have played a lot of football together. They understand the defense. I think Coach White does a fantastic job with his schemes of being able to maximize the talents of each player. I thought he did a nice job this week again, moving D'Angelo Malone around. And so he wasn't always getting the run away from him, or he wasn't getting double teamed. And it allowed Jawan, you saw Jawan make a big sack there in the fourth, allowed Jawan to make his plays. So the scheme plays a lot into it. We're able to be multiple in our schemes defensively. And so when you have an older team that can handle that load, that's a good thing. So that's why you're seeing a lot of the results that you see. And we're certainly going to need it down the stretch here.
Coach Jared from the Daily News again, just in terms of plans for this week, in terms of leaving, getting there, all what you guys have set up, I guess what's the schedule looking like?
Really a normal schedule because of the time change. We'll come in on a Friday, do our walkthrough meetings, jump on the plane. I think it's about a 3-hour flight. We'll get there around 4, and we'll just do our normal meetings and dinner and all those things. And we got the whole day. That's the bad thing about playing at night on Saturdays. You got to lay around the hotel all day. It kills me. But, you got plenty of time to get ready on Saturday as well. And right after the game, we'll turn around and come back. What we really are going to have to be pressed for time is, we'll land probably around 5:30 in the morning back in Bowling Green on Sunday. And you got to prepare for an FAU team, got to go on the road for them. And then Tuesday, November 3rd, is the election day. And so there is no organized activities as a team, so we'll have to do some things Monday. We'll have to take care of our guys, but we'll have to get some practice in Monday and try to catch up on time. So really the time is good on the front end, but on the back end, there's a lot to get done.
To kind of go off of that, with all that travel, BYU this weekend, FAU the weekend after, and then looking back later next month, kind of end of the month, Charlotte, with all those long trips, the flights, is that a concern at all with the wear and tear or the fatigue or anything like that?
We don't think about it that much. It's just part of what we do. It's part of the game. We're just glad to be playing, to be quite honest with you. We could be sitting at the house. So I don't think anybody's sitting here worried about, how far you got to travel. I'll be honest with you. We chose the BYU game. I thought Todd Stewart did a fantastic job of setting that up. We had some choices to make. If he came to me and we talked about it, and we felt like it was a good opportunity to play that game on many levels. So, again, we're just in the mindset of we're glad to be playing, what's the best thing for our program, all those kind of things. So, if we got to play every game on the road, that's what we'll do, just let us play the game.
Coach, this is Nick again. I'm just curious, what players are you hoping to kind of step up this second half of the season?
Well, I like the quarterback to step up. I think, and when I say that, I'm not saying it negatively. You're led by your quarterback. We're a quarterback-driven group, and so we need that play to be really good. It doesn't have to be anything special or out of the ordinary. It just needs to be good. We got to do a great job of controlling the football and taking care of the football. I think back to Marshall and UAB, whether, if let's just not turn the ball over and let's see what happens, and to be honest with you, this past week, we don't score very many points other than the sack fumble right before the half, which was very disappointing. We made it a point to control the football, take care of the football, and you got to see the result. We won the game. Now, we'd have liked to win it by a lot more points and all that, sure, but the name of the game is winning. So that's the mindset we got to be in as an offense and as a team is let's take care of the ball. Let's position ourselves, be in the fourth quarter, and then go win the game in the fourth quarter. And really, to answer your question, everybody needs to step up. The second half of the season, down the stretch, we got BYU and then 4 conference games that are critical. You hear me talk about the full body of work. So, we're going to need to all step up, coaches and players, to accomplish and feel good about where we are at the end of the season.